Welcome to a walker's guide of the other mansions in Newport, the lesser known mansions, and there's over 100 of them, and I'm going to walk you around Newport and show you them, give you a brief history of them, and little video snippets of it, and their location. The best map, some of the tools here that we're using, the best scale in all map that I've found, street map, is this AAA map of Newport. It's a city street map, and if you're not a AAA member, I believe they sell them there. You can then open this map up and cut it, if you want, down and fold it up into pocket size, and makes a handy reference as you're walking around. Here's a couple of books. This is the American Institute of Architects Guide, which lists a lot of these mansions, along with some history of them. It's a bit heavy to carry and a bit pricey, but it's available at the Newport Library, as well as the Preservation Society's bookstore in Thames Street, as well as most of the other bookstores in Newport. And another handy Lost Newport is a very interesting guide and I'll explain later on the significance of that. To walk you through the area that we'll be covering, to get you oriented, here's the Newport Bridge here. This is north, this is south. We'll be starting at the Cliff Walk. It's about a 3-mile walk down the Cliff Walk. Then we take Ocean Avenue, out and around, and back, up to Wellington Avenue. Again, to get you oriented, this is Thames Street, a tourist area, very pretty area full of shopping and retail, but not many mansions, so we won't be doing much there. Down here, Bellevue Ave, if you're not familiar with Newport, is more or less the main street, goes way back to the Gilded Age, and I'll be walking you down, but also back and forth, east and west. A lot of the mansions are still in this area. And then finally, what I call the Midlands out here, there's much more secluded, somewhat mysterious mansions out here, and I think you'll enjoy that part of it. So, that's the tools and the map, and it's very easy walking. It's really a lot of fun, especially if you're kind of a history buff. And most of these mansions are still inhabited. A lot of them are condominiums, and most of them are privately owned. So today's Gilded Age is very much alive and well in Newport. Okay, let's get walking. Okay, this is a pan looking across from Middletown at the start. That's Memorial Drive with the cars going up there. So this is a start, where most people start on the Cliff Walk. This is the northern start on it. There's an old mansion that's been converted, added on to a bed and breakfast. As you walk along this stretch here, this of course is the eastern side of Newport on the Cliff Walk. These are just old or new houses, no mansions there. And you walk along, and the water's pretty, but you're not going to see many mansions. Hopedean there is hidden behind you can see how the Cliff Walk walks down below that shrubbery. And the streets, there are streets behind there. You can get a glimpse between some bushes of the other side of Hopedean. It pretty much looks like this side here, just a pretty brick building. But from here on in, now you can, since you can't see much, you might want to just go up Memorial Drive and go down Anandale Road and come out to Narragansett entrance, which we'll see in a second. I'm not sure whether this is Ochre Point or what. I can't find any access to get to that guy. Very pretty. All you can see is just the chimneys from the Cliff Walk, and these you can't hardly see at all. And neither can you see this guy here. Now there's the 40 steps of the Cliff Walk, the Narragansett entrance, and Ogmore Court, the head of the Salva Regina College, and they've kept that. You can walk in there, take a look around usually, if they don't have something going. I'm not sure what this one is too. It might be the orchards, but at any rate it's there. And these, but you can't see that from the. You might see the chimneys, but that's about it. And then, but now from here on, the Narragansett Ave or Webster Ave exit on the other side of Ogmore Court, here you begin to see as you walk by, that's part of Salvo Regina also, but a big name escapes me right now. But as you walk on down, because that big guy, that's the Breakers there, the biggest one in Newport, 70 rooms. If you're going to see one, go through one place, by all means, the Breakers is my recommendation. It's just gorgeous inside. That white one is Anglesey. And as you walk along, again, you're kind of low. Sometimes you can get views of these. Sometimes it's kind of hard. But these now, there's streets that go Ogmore Point Ave that goes right along there. And then there's Rough Point way down at the edge there. Let me move around a little bit. The cliff walk goes all the way down around Rough Point there, way down to the other side of it. Some of it's kind of rough. You can approach the cliff walk from the southern end and walk up and get a shot of Rough Court, but it's just beautiful down around the Ledge Road entrance to the Bailey's Beach entrance. So we'll just kind of pan out a little bit and give an idea of where you'll be walking by. But it's I shouldn't be panning this fast, should I? Because it just comes out blurred. At any rate, there's Hope Dean again. And there's the newer homes, and there's your entrance there to the cliff walk. I've chosen today to walk up, to forego that first part of the cliff walk and walk up to Memorial to a street on the left called Anandale. On the way up at the corner of Rhode Island and Memorial, here is an old stone gatehouse. People living in it now. A lot of times the stone gatehouses out-survive the wooden main houses. In this case, Oakland was the huge main mansion back in the turn of the century. And this is cute. We'll zero in a bit. The other side is hidden by trees. But we'll see more gatehouses with people living in them now. Some ways they're not small. This one's on the smaller side, but some of them, especially the stables, had both, of course, the horses and all the handlers, typically 20 or so horse handlers and all that in the carriage days, as well as the carriages. So some of those, as you'll see, were huge. Stables were huge in their own right. We've just come up Memorial and just turned onto Anandale, and you notice a big old stone wall. That's one of the signs, and here are the stables building to that Ocean Lawn Mansion, now converted to condominiums. Back in the 1970s, when the Navy was pulling out of Newport and things were all down, a couple of the local rascals, developers, bought up a lot of these existing mansions, which granted were in various states of decay, knocked them down instead of restoring them, and subdivided their estates into more modern houses. Sometimes grand modern houses, but still modern houses. So they did more damage to Newport history during that decade in the 70s than any hurricane or current economic condition has created. Okay, we're on the corner now of Webster Ave, which is an entrance to the cliff walk just down from Narragansett Ave. And this is Ogmore Court, a college administration headquarters now, Salvo Regina College. This was built back in 1892, and the owners had it for just a few years, and they got tired of Newport society. A lot of Newport society also vacationed and did business in Europe. And of course the old European aristocracy, they had their pedigree, and whereas we were all newcomers over here, new money, and just learning how to be civil and all of that. But they stayed in it. It changed hands over the years, and then finally it was sold to Salvo Regina College. And you can walk around the grounds, And this is our first real big mansion that we've seen so far, but we're going to see some more.